Hello, welcome to another episode of When She No Longer Wants to Cook For You, Here's What You Do. I'm back. You know who this is. We back in Maryland with Mr. Bake himself. Now remember when he threw down last time. Can you top that? Well, one thing, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, my pleasure. You know, I will hike it over 300 miles just to get you on the show, my brother, through all kinds of weather. Now, everyone's seen what you did before. Mm-hmm. You did your thing.
I'm not gonna say nothing this episode.
Yeah.
y'all gotta watch that episode.
Can you top? What are you gonna bake for us right now?
I'm gonna say a few words. I am going to make. Sorry, y'all. All right, brother.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna make banana pudding, which is something I'm also known for. But this time I'm gonna make it two different ways. So, last time I did baking straight from start to finish a cake. This time I'm gonna give some of the amateur bakers an opportunity to create something amazing, and then for those experienced or exploratory people, they can go ahead and try to make something from scratch, so start to finish again.
Okay. Now, when he was last on, we asked him a bunch of questions. We're definitely going to hit him with some more. It was a pleasure having him on. Believe the hype. Like I said in the last, believe the hype. The brother's deep. The brother's, he's making parts move. And that's what it's all about. So, we're going to get out of his way. When She No Longer Wants to Cook For You, today, Maryland, Mr. Bake is going to show us what to do. And like I said, let me throw this in. It's a blessing to have him on because I don't have many bakers on, and I got a little emotional with the last episode because it so much reminded me of my mom when he had the place smelling so amazing. So that episode is a little personal to me, but we're gonna get out of his way. Mr. Bates gonna do his thing. We'll be right back.
Boom, appreciate it.
All right.
Hello, everybody. As you said, you already know me. It's your main man coming from Maryland by way of Harlem, Kareem, Mr. Bake. Glad to be back here with you guys, gracing you with another award-winning episode and dessert. Excuse me. See, twisting. This because this is a legendary show. I'm already speaking it into existence. All right. So, what I'm going to do here for you guys today is make banana pudding, but I'm going to make it two different ways. So, like we said earlier, I'm going to show you. So, I'm going to be doing both of them at the same time because it's some cooling process, like periods that need to happen and things of that nature. So, I will make sure I limit my storytelling so you guys could follow along and understand what I'm doing. So, be more probably techniques in this story, in this episode. So, what I'm gonna start with, just to let you know, is we're gonna be making our custard from scratch. So we're gonna be making a banana pudding, and we're gonna be making the custard from scratch, and then we're gonna be using the trusty old infamous Jell-O mix, okay? So start from the custard from scratch. We have whole eggs. And what we need to do is, well, before we do the whole eggs situation, get all this stuff out of the way. I feel like I'm like juggling on a table. I'm gonna measure out some half and half and heavy cream. So I need 3 cups. This is already 2 cups, but I'm gonna measure it, and I'm gonna show you guys that when you're measuring with liquid, use the liquid measuring cup, which is this. The dry ones is the one with the scoops. You kind of like look like big scoops. You wanna use that for all your dry ingredients. So we need 3 cups of liquid here. So I already know it's 2 cups, and you want to measure on a flat surface. Do not measure in the air because your hand can be a little wobble wobble, shake it. All right, so please make sure it's flat surface. So I got 2 cups. And if you know your math, you know that 1 pint, which is the smaller size of the quart, is already 2 cups. This is 4 cups, all right? But if you don't, measure it out anyway to be safe, all right? Second, then I'm gonna need a cup of this, which is heavy cream. And if you don't have heavy cream, you can use all half and half. If you have all half and half, I never tried the whole recipe with heavy cream. Please, if you try it, it shouldn't make a difference. Half and half is literally just whole milk and half cream. So it should work. I just never tried it. So what I'm gonna do is put this on the fire. I'm gonna put that on the fire for a medium boil. I do not want to boil that all the way through. I just want that to come to kind of like little rapid boils. You know, you boil in water and you get them little bubbles that come on the edge. That's exactly what I want, okay? And then I also have some water over there as well, that's on a low simmer as well. So when we start to combine stuff and whisk it, the water will be at a temperature that we need it, which is also not a boiling temperature, all right? So eggs, we need the egg yolks in here and not the egg, not the full egg, right? So I'm gonna use, look, I use everything in the kitchen. This is how I minimize my dishes. I'm not gonna use this anymore for the moment, so I can definitely go ahead and crack my egg yolks right up in here, okay? So, and you can keep your yolks for those who like to eat, you know, scrambled egg yolks, or you're making something that need egg whites. Keep your egg whites, put them in a nice container, make some eggs the next morning or later on that day. Be at it, or you can just throw it away, whatever. So, you wanna crack your egg to where you can literally crack it in half, and then you separate it by doing this back and forth motion to separate the yolk from the whites. So, because remember, all we need is the yolks, and I need 8 of those. So I'm gonna do that 8 times. Now, another trick that we do is if you crack them when it's cold, you'll have better luck at making sure that no yolk get in your whites. Because mainly when people are cracking eggs, typically you need the yolk, you need the whites, and you want no fat in the whites. And you're probably thinking, why did I want fat in the whites? Because if you're like trying to build volume in these egg whites, like some frostings, meringues, like lemon meringue pie and things like that, the fat won't allow the yolk to, won't allow the egg white to double up in volume. Like I wouldn't put it in the same ramekin or same bowl with the milk, because milk is considered a fat, okay? But since I'm not using these egg whites, I'm not cooking no eggs. I don't even eat eggs like that, like scrambled eggs, egg whites, omelets, anything like that. So I don't gotta worry about this. So today, unfortunately, these whites are gonna go trash, okay? So continue to keep doing this and have fun with it. You already know how I feel. If you don't know me, I'm a jam out music kind of guy. So honestly, there's music playing in my head right now. No, I'm not crazy, but it just kind of helps kind of calm my nerves. He's over there laughing, but it kind of calms my nerves. And it gets me in the zone. You know what I mean? Oh my God, you know what I instantly thought about when I said in the zone? Aging myself out again. It's called AutoZone. Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, that's the commercial back in the day. But anyway. So I'm on my last egg, there we go. All right. So you can put all of that to the side. Wipe your hands. Then we have a half a cup of sugar. That water's starting to boil right here. We have some salt, half a teaspoon. And then now, I used gelatin packs. This is gonna be what's gonna help thicken the custard, okay? If you do not wanna use gelatin, because if you do not know, gelatin contains pork. So if you are the no pork on my fork, Muslim, or dietary reasons, you can use cornstarch, okay, for this recipe. About 5 to 6 tablespoons of cornstarch will still do the same process that this gelatin would do. I just like the way gelatin really sets up and firms up when it's in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of that gelatin on top, put that on the side. Then I'm gonna use a whisk and really just whisk everything till it's fully incorporated. See if there's any shells that fell in here, which there isn't. And you'll get a nice dark yellow sugary blend, okay? All right. Now, while that's doing that, I'm gonna check on my heavy cream and see how that's working. It's still not at the boil I need. And another way I can check is dipping my hand in there. If you ever made like warmed up a bottle for a baby, that's what you want. You want that kind of soft to touch, warm to touch to your hand so a baby can drink the bottle. That's the kind of measurement that you're going for. So I think that's a good correlation many of us can agree with, because many of us warmed the bottle up before for a baby. All right, now we still got some time on that. And we're gonna let that boil, and I'm gonna go ahead and get ingredients together for our instant one. So give me a few seconds and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And I actually psyched you guys out while I was on break. My cream is actually at the temperature we need it. So what I'm going to do is bring that bad boy on over. And then, so what we're doing now is called tempering the yolks. And the tempering the yolks is we incorporate a little bit of this hot or warm milk into the eggs, and then we whisk it so that you don't create scrambled eggs, okay? And what we're actually doing is bringing the eggs temperature up little by little before we then slowly continue to add the warm cream. Right? And you got that yummy, yummy. This is where you can sing to yourself. You know, this is where the dances come into play. All right, get all of that in there. Boom, no scrambled eggs. So now, what we're gonna do is, that simmering water that I had, we're gonna place this right on top. I call it double boiler, and we're gonna whisk that directly over the double boiler so it doubles in value. Come on over. So you wanna whisk this for about 5 to 7 minutes. This is the most tedious task of this, I swear to you. And you want it to double in volume. That's what you're looking for, double in volume. So have some fun here. If the fire gets too hot, just go ahead and put a rag there. Make sure you don't burn yourself, or put a mitten on. Because if I leave my hand go, my bowl's gonna start dancing because it's actually sitting inside of the pan. And we don't want the bowl to dance. You can dance though. And as you see, if you notice, it's getting a little thicker. This is where a lot of, if you don't work out, this is really good arm strength. See that flex in that arm. Then you can change up your whisking if you want. But it's getting thicker. While my hands is burning, I can cut the heat off too, so I don't need any fire on because that water. So what you're doing with the double bath, what this is called the double bath, is that you're not cooking directly on straight heat. So you're cooking with steam. So this is ensuring that nothing, like the eggs don't cook, it doesn't overcook. You can control a little bit the custard. Some custards will say cook it directly on heat. If you want to do that, you are more than welcome to do that. Follow the recipe to its T, I always say. But this is an ensure way so that you do not have anything that burns or overcooks, okay? But this is more backward. A lot of sweat because I can feel it. I can feel it in the air. I can feel it on my forehead for real. We ain't even got that many lights going on in here, y'all. And I'm sweating. Because this is real life cooking. Ooh, I remember one time I made, I had to do a banana pudding for about 60 people, and we was doing this, and I was at this thing forever risking this. You can also use a hand mixer. So you have a hand mixer. This is great to just that thing and let that thing do its work, so you ain't got to do so much work. But this is the joy in baking. You're touching, you're feeling, you're getting really up close and personal with what you're doing. You know, it's like technology nowadays where it disattaches us from the social aspect that we're also used to, especially if you grew up in an era before, you know, heavy technology, you know what I mean? Or even an era before technology where you had to go outside and talk. You had to write each other letters, postcards, you know what I mean? You sent emails and people got back to you that way. You had to fax your resume over. You had to meet somebody at a bar and talk to them and get to know them, or on the phone. Okay, so get you a little bit up close and personal. I think this is still some of the best ways to bake, as well as some of the best ways to communicate. So look at that. I know y'all looking at me like, that boy crazy. I'm not doing all of that communicating with these people. I get it. The people are crazy. They've gotten crazy. But I don't think they were never not. All right. This is almost done. But I want to make sure, because I want to see it thicken up. That gelatin in there is what's really going to help thicken up. It's doing this chemical reaction when that heat and that cold and that heat comes together in the gelatin. That's what's going to happen. We're going to do some other stuff to this that's really going to bring it together. All right. Doubled in volume. We can now take this off the heat.
All right, we're back. As you know, this is not the regular routine, but I'm back here. Mr. Bake, why am I here?
Because of the food? I don't know why you're here.
Okay.
Well, he like my energy. That's why you're here.
Well, we gotta have some things cool down. But while he
that's why. Yeah.
I wanted to ask him some questions. You know, when they found that I was coming back, one of the people who I know told me to ask you about the James Beard Award.
Okay. Oh, yes.
I heard this is really important. Why didn't you mention this to me on the last episode?
Well, one, I was flowing into what we was going into, and I think the last episode, I think I was more so into, like, we talked a lot about the TV shows I've been on.
Okay.
So we came in, you was kind of excited for the shows I've been on. So, you know, a lot of people actually, and I forget about the James Beard, not in like, I'm not proud of it. So one, the James Beard is a prestigious food award that you can get. And a lot of chefs work really, really hard to get acknowledged by this organization. It's literally top tier. It's right under neck and neck with a Michelin star.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so a lot of people know Michelin star. They don't know the James Beard. So I like to say it is the Oscars in the food world, the Emmys in the food world, you know? So to be even nominated or win an award from them could really catapult your career, really be looked at as a serious chef doing amazing things in his community, his or her or their community.
Wow.
So last year, 2023, I was nominated for Outstanding Baker and Pastry Chef.
Okay.
And later found out I'm the first black man to ever receive this acknowledgement, and just because of my sexuality, I then naturally become the first, and because I'm the first black man, so now I become the first black man who's queer, gay, who received this acknowledgement. So it just shows a testament to the product that I put out. It shows a testament to the work that I've been doing in the community and the industry to make the change, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited about that, man.
Okay, one thing about you, like I said in my last, and I keep saying it, is that you're a lot of moving parts as far as things you've done with the community. Like, you know, I did my homework on you, but someone had to ask me to ask you about James Beard. So you do a lot of great things. Yeah. Listen.
I try to.
Talk to me some more, because I don't want to get you back on something. Well, ask me about this. So look, for a second, Mr. Bake, toot your own horn.
Okay.
Like on just toot your, you know, it's you know, I know you're a humble brother. but just tell us some more.
Okay, tell us your story.
Yeah,
is what you're saying, right?
we got a couple of minutes for this cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we know from the last episode, you know, you're from Harlem.
Yes. You know, I've done 5 to 7 shows. You know, all the shows.
Yeah, you guys gotta check those shows out because you really get to know what this brother's about. You know, this is who he is and what he is.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. It's no added, no preservative. He's a real guy.
I like that.
So I just appreciate you, but really get to know him because he's a real interesting guy, man. Real interesting guy. And
appreciate that.
Just the beauty of you being in front of my camera. I mean, we're having a good time with it, but you're keeping us engaged, but you're also teaching us.
I like to do both, man.
Yeah,
I like to do both.
Because,
I like to do both.
You know, sometimes you can look at somebody and they're teaching, but you know, you pull us into what you're doing.
Thank you.
Stuff, you're pulling us into that, and so even me behind the camera, you see me giving you thumbs up because that's my I like.
He's actually laughing, y'all. He's not.
I'm laughing.
He's laughing, which is making me laugh too.
Yeah, because you know, but he's a great guy. He's a funny guy, and so. And you poor people, I mean, we're involved in this.
But can I tell you, I'm not even trying to be funny, bro. I'm really just talking like. So if you once you get to know, like if anybody ever gets to really know me, this is me. So my friends will always like when they watch me on TV, they go, "Yo, I can't stand you, Kareem," because like. You literally are being yourself, like, because they know me, so they know I'm sarcastic. They know I'm going to sing. They know I'm going to do some kind of dance. I do this on my regular MO to my close-knit people, man.
Now, is that because you're doing what you love at the time?
Yes.
I mean, you're engulfed in what you love.
Yes.
And so that's one thing about just,
absolutely.
When you're doing something you love, it shines through.
Yeah,
it shines through whether you smile, whether you want to do a little dance, whatever you're doing.
He dancing
it really shines through. Yeah, I did a little. I'm from Brooklyn, but I grew up in Harlem. But no, man. But seriously, it does shine through. And this has been a pleasure. We're gonna come back on the end of the show because we let Mr. Bake again change the format of our show. But I'm gonna come back at the end with some more.
Wait, I know you do. You wanted me to shine. Can I tell you a little bit something else?
What's that?
You talked about the community a lot, and I wanted to tip on that too because I don't.
Okay,
sometimes I forget so much when you've done so much, you forget about touching different parts.
You got an incredible body of work.
Yeah, thank you. But I've done. I have. It's our baby. It's our community outreach, which is Sweets for the Community.
Got you.
And through the Sweets for the Community initiative, we started that literally neck and neck with the business. Actually, that kind of started back in high school when I started to just do and fall in love with doing community work.
Okay.
The business and everything that I created was built on the community. Got you. Mr. Bake, Kareem, all of the stuff you've seen was because of the community. Okay. So I find ways to pour back into the community. And how do I do that? Either through donation of food. Okay. So when DC was furloughed back in like 2017 or back when it was furloughed for like a month, we was out there feeding families who didn't have any money coming in.
On the ground.
Yes. When COVID hit, you know, I was out there riding around in my car, going to first responders, passing treats just for free, boxes of treats to hospitals, to police stations, just saying thank you for the services and keeping us, you know, afloat through this crazy, uncertain time at that moment. I talk to youth. You know what I mean? I donate my time through speaking. I will go to food pantries and pack food up. I would also come and cook food, you know, even my recipes or their recipes and kind of help them out. I've raised money for organizations. My mother dealt with kidney failure all of my life until she ultimately passed in 2017. Wasn't due to kidney failure, but she had kidney failure all my life. So I've given money back to those organizations. I've given money back to Girl Scout troops in Harlem. I've given money back to HIV/AIDS resource centers in Harlem. So not only do I do the world, not only do I do DC, Maryland, and Virginia, I still go back home and pour roots into that. So that is my baby. I love community work. Sometimes it can take a lot of you because the community people want you to do a lot for them. But I love doing that work, and I'm really proud about our Sweets for the initiative.
So you're a product of the community.
I'm literally a living, breathing part of the community, man.
Then coming back and uplifting it, and you know, that is amazing. And I'm not surprised because, like I did my homework on you, and I but it's like I said, it's just so much more.
Yeah.
Listen, I appreciate you.
That's no problem.
I'm gonna get from in front of this camera.
I think you kind of like.
Honestly, I don't like that. I look a little rough. So this, you know what I'm saying? I like to be behind the camera, and I gotta get in front of it because ain't nobody really here to do it. You know what I'm saying? This moment, I mean, when she don't cook for you, this is what you do. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I see you pointing at yourself. You might have to get into it like you like host the show. But listen, I'm gonna get out of his way.
All right.
Brother's doing his thing.
All right.
I'll see you at the end of the show.
Yes. All right. Welcome back, guys. All right. So I know we had a little interlude real quick. So our homemade custard has had time to cool to room temperature. So you want to give that about 25 to 30 minutes. You can also throw it in the refrigerator after about 5 minutes of cooling out. After about 5 minutes of cooling out at room temperature, you can throw it in the refrigerator to bring the temperature down faster, okay? So, we're doing the same thing we did with the instant by adding this sweetened condensed milk in there, okay? So, the only thing different is we just made the custard from scratch. We used them egg yolk, some sugar, double boiler, and cream. It's the only difference. We're gonna take a new whisk, pour that bad boy in there, get a spoon, scoop the rest of that out. And remember, we only put a half a cup of sugar in here, guys. So please, I don't want to see nobody's face souring up and puckering up at home. Oh, that's going to be too sweet. And he putting too much sugar in. I'm going to put half a can in there. Please stop doing your own thing when it comes to baking. Like I say, my rule is, do the entire recipe how it says, taste it, then go in and say, all right, based off of what I did, let me Google or research if I don't know how to bake, what I can take out to, minimize some of the sweetness in this, okay? But I'm telling you, this thing ain't gonna be that sweet. He gonna let you know when he get up in here and taste it, okay? So, whisk that until that is fully dissolved. And another thing I always say is try not to do these things rushed. So if you feel like you have to do something rushed, this custard is not the custard you rush. This is literally like a baby. You gotta have some fun to conceive it, and then they gotta sit in the bun in the oven for 9 months before it's ready. Okay, it's a process, and the females can tell you it's some waves in that process. Okay, so this is what we're doing. This is the process right here, and we all can relate to that because even men, we got to deal with some of the waves of the female's process. Okay, and I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, there's some things we got to do. So we're going to take that, and now you got to refrigerate this for 2 hours, up to 2 hours to overnight. So that's what I'm saying. So if you're trying to impress somebody, your lady, your mama, your grandmama, or your special friend, as I like to say, you want to make sure you do this the day before, right? Set this up maybe the day or two before. Get this hard part out the way. Put it in the refrigerator. And it's given set it and forget it, right? Type situation. But definitely you can put this in the refrigerator and let this completely cool down. It's going to actually solidify from there, okay? So let's go ahead and put that in the refrigerator. Go ahead and take some heavy cream out. And if you remember from earlier, I had a cold mixing bowl in the freezer because I was going to teach y'all how to make whipped cream from scratch. So, get a measuring cup. And I'm going to do half of this. Probably do a little more than a half, but I'm going to measure out half first. So half of this is 2 cups. Because 2 cups is a pint. And 4 cups is a quart. Okay? Give y'all some measuring while we at it. I know y'all probably looking like, I don't know what that is. You could Google that. Don't worry about it. Pour that up in here. So, and the reason why you want this to be cold is so that it whips up fast, okay? You don't have to have a stand mixer to do this as well. You can use a regular handheld mixer and you'll achieve the same glory, okay? Now, what I like to do is start it off low, gradually add it up, And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you through the process different peaks. So there's a soft peak, there's a medium peak, and then there's an over whipped. And sometimes over whipping the heavy cream for like the instant custard is not gonna be a problem. Now this process that we're doing right now with whipping the heavy cream is the process that you would do next for both custards. The instant custard as well as the custard from scratch will get the same amount of cream whipped up. And then what we're gonna do is fold that in, okay? So what we're gonna use is the instant one because obviously that moves faster. We're not gonna wait until tomorrow. I gotta get my man back up to New York. He got a family to take care of. And we gotta get him some good pudding now, baby. Now he ain't come all this way 4 hours to not get some of that goodness, all right? Right, now while that's whipping up, story time with Mr. Bake, if you remember from the last time. Now, I did this custard. This is my Aunt Janet's custard. Shout out to Aunt Janet, rest her soul. She was making this recipe, experimenting again, and she was giving it out to the neighbors, as she always do. And we was loving it, I was liking it, and I had entered into a high school competition. And it was literally just my class, but it was over 30 to 40 students, maybe about 30 students. I think 40 is being dramatic, but this is old school's classroom settings where the class was big. So in this, and I went to school in downtown Manhattan, so we had people from Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn. So that means we had the island folks, so Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Haiti, Jamaica, you know, Haitian, all of those different islands. And we had the Black Americans that was there. So they was all these different family cultural dishes. We had to do a cook-off. So everybody bought something for the cook-off. And before I finish this is soft peaks. So now you see how we went from liquid to something thick with big body gal, you know, since we're talking about West Indians, big body gal, okay? And since my man from Brooklyn, so I have to give a shout out to Brooklyn on the track. So I decided that I was gonna make this banana pudding. I'm not gonna give you the backstory how I'm quickly tell you, my mama did not want me to make this banana pudding. If you grew up like me, when the kitchen was clean, the kitchen was closed. So I wound up wanting to make this last minute and enter, and my mama was like, yeah, now it's not happening. So what did I do? I took everything, I had a hand mixer. I took everything into my bedroom and only used the TV light and a cutting board and prepared the instant banana pudding in my bedroom. Took it to class the next day. We get into medium peak, so I want to show you that. Look at this medium, look at that. This is actually the peaks you need. You see that thickness in that? Look at that body. Look. That's the peaks is how it sticks up. That's what you're looking for, okay? So, we actually are in a good space, and I'm gonna show you what overmixing looks like, just cause why not? So I did the pudding in my bedroom, snuck it in the refrigerator. Literally, it was giving Scooby-Doo. I was sneaking into the refrigerator, into the kitchen. And my room wasn't that far from the kitchen. My mama's room is a little down. We had one of them older Harlem apartments. So you know the apartments are long back in the day. And so then I took it to class the next day. It was all these different dishes. I mean, savory to some sweet. And do you guys know that out of all those dishes that was presented, my Aunt Janet's banana pudding came out first place, baby. Look at this. So this would be a little bit overmixed. It's a little rough, but this is. I just want to show you all three differences so you can see where you're at in your process when you are making this. Okay, but back to my winning story. This is why this pudding is award winning. Is because it won my first ever competition. And you know how when you win a competition as a kid, that boosts up your confidence, baby. It's giving, I can take over the world. So this is it. So now we have that custard. It can be solidified a little bit more, but don't worry about it because we're going to put it back in the refrigerator again. So we're going to pour that custard directly into that that whipped cream now that we made from heavy whipped cream. And I'm going to give you Another little trick. Say you buy heavy cream for this dish and you realize you don't use heavy cream for anything else. You can use heavy cream now when you make brownies. You can make some whipped cream really quickly, put some powdered sugar up in there, a little vanilla extract, and top your brownies off. You got ice cream at home, instead of getting that can, you got some heavy whipping cream that you're not going to use. You can do that as well. So don't think like, oh, I'm only going to use this for this one time, when that heavy cream can be used for so many different things, all right? So we just want to get this nice and blended. I can actually put this on a high speed. Love is in the air. Yes. Shake that off. If you know me, no child left behind. I like to stick to my word. Get you a spatula. And you see that? And then now we're going to fold and make sure everything is incorporated, because there's some heavy cream at the bottom and there's some custard still on the side. All right, and this is folding. Folding is going from the side and folding over. It literally does a folding motion. Fold, fold, all right? But look at this. Look at this. All right, so I have a bowl already cleaned out, clear bowl, and we're gonna use a clear bowl, because you already know why we're using a clear bowl, because we want to see all that goodness. Now, I use vanilla wafers in mine. I like to use Nabisco. I already made some banana pudding a few days ago, so therefore that's why this is already open. Judge ye not. Okay? And you can use, my cousin and all the people like to use chessmen cookies, get fancy with it, animal crackers. Some people put all types of different things in their custard. Do that, like cinnamon. So what I'm gonna use also, and then, I don't know if y'all been on them Delta, when you get on them Delta flights and they give you them Biscoff cookies, baby. And the reason why I'm doing the Biscoff cookies is honestly is equivalent to you using cinnamon, because the Biscoff cookies has that nice cinnamon flavor, but it's not overly cinnamon-y. So it balances it out really, really well. So what I like to do is start with a few cookies at the bottom. You don't got to do the best cookies at the bottom because they're at the bottom, but I like cookies at the bottom because I just like to, when I dig into the bottom, I like an even ratio, and you'll see with this preparation, okay? All right, so we're gonna start with cookies. I get a nice dollop of frosting. I'm gonna use our spoon from our custard earlier. Told you I don't like to make all these dishes. So why am I gonna use a fresh spoon when all the spoon got on it was the same custard that's in this mixture right here, okay? Playing around with yourself, making all these dishes that y'all don't want to clean. And especially if you don't got no children to clean these dishes, baby, please. You better save yourself, or no dishwasher. Save yourself the trouble, baby. All right. Get that thing up in there at the bottom. We're gonna keep that there because I'm gonna use that again. Then I'm gonna take a banana, and I like to cut from the top and peel my banana all the way through. If you can't hold up the banana all the way in your hand, that's totally fine. Cut the banana in half. And then you're gonna do thin to medium slices. So you want a slice that looks very much so like this, okay? Or thickness. If you don't like a lot of bananas, this is where you get to play, right? So go ahead and do a few slices of bananas at the bottom. I just like to make sure it's fully covered in bananas. Now, we're gonna start building up the sides before we put the next layer down. So you wanna take good looking cookies. The best cookies you can see, you wanna start building them on the side. You can get close to however you want. I like to keep a little space, and I'll show you as we continue to build why I like to do that. So now you gotta fit through. So listen, when you're doing this part, this is where you wanna get 2 boxes of cookies, because sometimes the cookies you get, you be getting little critters like this, son, and nobody, you know what I mean? Like, especially when you trying to impress. You impressing somebody. So you want to do nothing but the best. Boom, you put that down there. Now, my next layer is going to be my Biscoffs. All right? And I'm just gonna put a few that can fit at that size. If you wanna crack them in half, you can. All right, now we're gonna do another heap full of banana pudding. We're gonna start rotating that around. You see that coming together on the side? Baby, magic. All right, so then next, some bananas. And you're gonna continue to repeat this process until the top. Now, also see bananas, you know, bananas like to do their own thing inside the skin, so if you don't like the mush, you could cut that part off. If you make smoothies, I like to reduce waste as possible. Save those bananas for a smoothie. Wrap them up in plastic or in a container. Throw them things in the freezer for when you're ready to make your smoothie. So you don't gotta throw away anything at all. Let me show you another way to cut a banana. You cut a banana from the back and peel it that way as well, okay? Gonna cut this in half because I know I'm not gonna need this whole banana. I'm gonna start from the smaller end because I only need a little bit just to fit in the custard, all right? Then I'm gonna alternate. So now my next level, I'm gonna do just basic vanilla wafer. So now this side, the middle, you can do, you know, you could get these crumbled up pieces to put in the middle because you know we're trying to keep our best for the side. So we go ahead and put that in there, and you just want that to look just like that. All right. Then you want to go ahead and add your next heaping full of custard, and then layer that, bring that over to the side. And you see I'm using a spoon. This is everything you have in your house. So we don't got no fancy gadgets for this, anything like that. Before I push it all the way to the side, I'm gonna go ahead and start building the side. Now, when I build the next layer, what I'm doing is putting it where the cookie is not at. So in that in-between spot that I created. I gotta look on this side, and so that's how you start creating to make the outside of the custard look like something. So you not only have a good tasting product, but you have something appetizing that people actually want to dig into, okay? All right, so you already know, continue that, get your bananas. And the good thing about when you do an even blend, and an even blend is you only need about 3 bananas to this one recipe, 3 to 4 bananas. And that's depending on how many bananas you like. So even blend for me is about 3 to 4. You might want less if you don't want a lot of bananas. I've got a lot of requests for people who get no bananas. I've actually even taken this banana pudding recipe, and added fresh fruits in here. So on top of adding bananas, I'll add blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries. So I'm doing like an all berry banana pudding. I've actually then taken out the vanilla wafers and added Oreos in at the shop. That was a really big hit. So it made this kind of Oreo, and I still add bananas in it. So it made this kind of Oreo banana pudding situation. And then now the Biscoffs again. So it's really kind of taste it first, like I said, and then see what flavors would go well with this. And that's how you want to start building up the character. Building up your character, meaning your flavor profile, okay? So now you can tell this is the tricky part. Not tricky, but this is the part I really want you to watch too. We're at the end of the custard, right? We're gonna do a heaping full of custard. That's gonna give us that much left. Don't worry about it, I got you. We're gonna still spread this bad boy around. So now what we're gonna stop doing is building on the sides because we finished, right? But what I'm gonna do is add bananas, still. Cut up a half of this one. I'll save the other half for a smoothie. Or I might just eat it. Or make some banana bread. You know, so many different things you could do. And you can freeze the banana for banana bread as well. Because you want, for banana breads, you want the banana to be ripe. Because that's what all of that sugar is at. That's what that is. It's building all that sugar. So now we have that. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a little bit of cookies I'm going to break up, pre-break up here, right? This is my way of getting through when you're at the end, but still giving those layers of cookies and bananas, right? Because then I'm going to take this little bit of custard, that's left, and you know me, no child left behind. Get all those nooks and crannies. You want no licking bowls over here, baby. You will eat this. Eat this when it's done. You take that. You go on top. Now you cover it all the way to the brim. Now, the fun part. You start layering out your cookies. So I'll put one in the middle to kind of give me some direction. And I start building outward. And you use your best cookies yet for this as well. And I just start literally making a cross. And then building and then filling in the spaces within that cross. Okay? Trying to pick out the best. I'm going to use this bag because I'm not going to open up another bag. Oh yeah, we got enough. We got enough. We got enough. Kind of move this over some more. We got enough. Don't even worry about that. Because you know why? You take the crumbs and you fill that in like that. We're going to get some of that Biscoff cookie and break that up too. Because remember, that happiness is up in there too. Okay. Get some of this regular wafer crumb. Kind of build that and put as much as you want. Some people you'll see they put fresh whipped cream on top. That's up to you, okay? And here we have it. Mr. Bake's award-winning banana pudding brought to you by Aunt Janet. All right? So remember what I said here. The two process that I showed you today was an instant process using the Jell-O mix, and then a from scratch process where we did egg yolks, cream, boiled up, double boiler, kind of a process there, kind of more love intense there, but they ended up coming at to the same point. You want to get a cold bowl, put it in the freezer for at least 30 minutes, and then use that to whip up some whipped cream from heavy cream, because I done showed you how magic happened, baby, in 10 seconds. And then you do a folding process and a layering process and create a beautiful outside decoration with a beautiful on top decoration, all right? We are going to take a break. I'm going to clean up this. I'm going to get my mans back there to come back up here. And we're going to dine into this banana pudding.
Okay, listen. We're at the best part of the show, the end of the show. I get to sample the food. This was looking amazing. Yeah, it was. Mr. Baker's back on. He did his thing. Damn, you know. Can I get like a picture of this real quick?
Of course you can.
I never do this on camera.
Of course you can.
We about to cut into this, and this looking.
Of course you can.
I know y'all
Instagram
I know
worthy
y'all like
pictures. You
he's
see what I'm saying?
so unprofessional, but nah, man, this is looking serious, and it's pretty. Like you don't even want to break it. Like it's a shame we got to eat it, but
that's the best part, though.
Yeah, but I had to get a picture of that.
Nah.
You know, one thing I noticed about you, you make your cooking like into an art.
Thank you.
You know, like it's like art. Like you kind of don't even want to. Even on the last episode with the cake, I kind of didn't. It looked so pretty. You don't want to cut into it.
Right. All right. So I also made this the day before because when the one that we just made, I like to make it. Like I said, it's a process of love, like that baby.
Yeah.
And I want it to sit so that you can actually taste the product and the flavors get time to marinate. And I like the cookies to kind of work overnight. All right.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got.
Oh, damn. That tastes. Yo.
Thank you. What I like about the pudding is
it's really good.
It's not sweet. It has this kind of like soft serve ice cream kind of feel to it. And yeah, you just kind of lick your spoon and keep going.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some questions.
I literally was gonna say you can lick a spoon and just kind of keep going back at it. You know, I remember I made this for some people in Chicago, and they were thinking I didn't know how to bake, and they were fighting over the pudding.
She's really good.
They were literally fighting over the pudding, man. So, yeah.
Let me ask you a question, because I've tasted two of your
desserts.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I always ask these people on the show, is there anything right now in the game that you kind of struggle with baking? Or kind of like, let me read up on that a little more. You're amazing at what you do, so it may not be anything.
No, it is. It is. I got something on you. I don't do plated pastries.
Okay.
So those things are very intricate.
Yeah.
They're very precise. You know, it's very a cleanness to it. I grew up loving custom cakes. So my main focus has always been in decorative all occasion cakes. So for me, I never even went the pastry route. Like I did some internships in restaurants, but I never really focused in it. So actually now, like I'm meeting a lot of pastry friends, and I want to go sit in their kitchen and just work with them on those intricate little details, and like bread baking too. I went away from those two things and stuck into the lane that I enjoyed the most. So I know how to make breads. Don't get me wrong. I know the process. Sure you do. I know the process of doing all those things. Yeah. But they've had more time finessing that craft. Okay. Like if we were switching roles and they were saying, okay, you need to do a tier cake, working with fondant, working with decorations, and they would probably be like, that's not my strong medium. Yeah. They can make a cake. They can make a cake probably taste good. They can frost the cake. But when it comes to like rolling the fondant out, stacking the cake, doing flour, they're probably gonna say, oh, that's not really my strong point. Yeah, okay. So. Yeah.
I got another question before. Can I have a little more before we?
Of course, you can eat as much of this as you want, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you want more?
Yeah, a little bit more. Oh, damn, this is so sad. We're doing this on camera, and I'm
That's fine, man. That's totally fine, bro.
But Mr. Big, I feel like I can make this. My only thing.
You can.
I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. People cut corners. And you mentioned that before.
I talk about it a lot.
Little things you do. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, well, I probably wouldn't do like the egg yolks and separating it. I probably wouldn't do that. I probably just throw the whole thing in there. Just call it.
Why are you doing that? The recipe says egg yolks, not whole eggs.
Because I would think of something like, oh, you can't tell the difference. But I guess
what?
But that's the foolishness of why I don't.
People, that's what people really be thinking.
Yeah, no, that's real.
And that be effing them up.
Yeah,
that be really messing them up.
We're always looking to cut corners. We're always looking at like, no, I'm not going to use sugar. I'm going to use something else. Or I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use this. Even a heavy cream. You made a good point. I was not in my head when you said this. I used heavy cream one time before, and I threw it away because I had no purpose for it after. And when you said that, I was like, damn, that was me. I had no purpose for it. But then you're dropping it. You could do this. You could do that. You could do that. Because I literally just threw the whole thing away. Hold on.
Same. Yeah. You can so. Try not to cut the corners. You're thinking about, I'm spending so much money for this product that I don't need. You know what I mean? That's why I also say Google your math on your measurements. If it says 2 cups, don't get the large one. Okay. Get the small one. Get the pint. That's 2 cups already right there made. Now that means there's no room for error. Yeah. You can't go back to you can't reduplicate it without that product.
Is that, as a baker, on your level, is that frustrating you when people come to you and be like, yo, it didn't come out the way I wanted it to, and then you find out they cut corners? Is that a little frustrating? Like,
that's not frustrating to me because you wasted your money doing it, right? Okay. My thing, I'm gonna go back to the normal thing. Calm down. Yeah. Do it, like give yourself time to bake. Remember what I said? Like we literally, if you're making a custard from scratch, you gotta go put that in the refrigerator now overnight and for 2 hours. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So like that's not something you can make in the same day and try to serve it to somebody the same day. The instant one you could, like the one we literally made today, I could have served you that right now. But not even making this for you. Gotcha. You get what I'm saying? But because of how I like to serve it, I like the next day custard. Okay. So to me, I wanted to give you the way that I would serve it to my guest or to anybody purchasing it. Yeah. But you can make that instant one. That's why I gave you 2 different routes. Because you can make the instant one and serve that in the same day. And that would have only taken, if I only made the instant one, that would only take you about 1.5 hours to 2 hours to make.
I was looking, before I came, I was looking at the last episode, and baking seems like chess to me. Chess and checkers? And it's like with baking, you gotta be really on point with everything.
You do.
I keep talking about patience, but a lot of us out there, including you out there, probably don't have the patience, but you gotta get the patience if you want it to come out the way it needs to come out.
Yeah. Give yourself time. And if you don't have patience, then give yourself the time. Do it on a day that you have time. First of all, if you say, for instance, I know I want to make something, read it days before.
Yeah.
So I know what I have to do. So now if you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'm booked, but I need this for Saturday, and I want to, okay, so you know what? Thursday and Friday night, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prep everything Thursday night.
Yeah.
Then Friday after work or after I finish, I'm going to just do what I need to do. So then Saturday morning, I get up, package it, or if it's already packaged, go out the door, get dressed, worried about the rest of the other stuff that you have to do because you completed the cake, the custard, the cookies, the banana pudding, the brownies. You ain't got to rush it now. You gave yourself time. Because sometimes what we do is we actually have the time. We minimize the scrolling on your phone, minimize the television.
Okay. You're right.
You know, like you cut out that stuff. That's not productive unless you're using this stuff. Like you have to look at something for research or for homework if you're in school, you know what I mean? Or if you're on Instagram or your phone to research and looking up something. If you're doing leisure activities, you can focus into something that you really want people to say, damn, you know how to do that.
Yeah.
And you really want to try your hand at it. Let that be your scrolling. Let that be your TV watching.
Yeah. No, you really inspired me. I said on the last episode, I want to bake a cake. Of course, it's not going to be on Mr. Bake's level, but it's a start. And I just, because I don't want to buy cakes from stores anymore or Intermins. I want to kind of, the last episode, I kind of missed that smell in the air. And you inspired me. I am going to bake. I'm not going to put it on the show because it's not on your level. I mean, you want some more next level.
Well, I mean, I've been.
It's only one Mr. Bake, and the rest of us just trying to figure it out. The rest of us trying to figure it out. But let this brother inspire you, man. Look, last time he was on the show, that was a lot. But I could probably.
The instant one you could do.
I could do the instant one.
You could do that instant one, bro. That's why I wanted to show y'all two different routes. And I ain't want to throw the instant one because then people be looking like, this man know how to bake from scratch for real. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah, let me show them how you make custard from scratch.
I appreciate both of them.
And then a quick instant one,
because, this is really good. Listen, we're at the end of our show. We're going to say goodnight, Mr. Bake. Thank you.
Thanks for having me again, man. I appreciate you. Man. Whole heart.
My platform is here for whenever you want to be on, man.
Thank you. Thank you.